Alexei Trevizo has pled not guilty to first-degree murder.
At just 19 years old, Alexei Trevizo, a high school student, entered a hospital in the company of her mother. However, after spending a few hours at the hospital, the situation took a drastic turn as she was subsequently charged with first-degree murder. The circumstances surrounding this incident raise questions about what transpired. Welcome to True Crime Capital. Alexei Trevizo, a young woman residing in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Artesia, with its population of just 12,000, where everyone knows everyone. Recently graduated high school as a member of the class of 2023. At 19 years old, she successfully completed her education at Artesia High School. Notably, Alexei has been in a devoted relationship with her partner, Devin Fierro, who was also a senior at the same high school. Their bond has flourished over 3 years of dating. There has been significant chatter about Alexei's character, and some have labeled her as a master manipulator. While she had several acquaintances, she maintained only a handful of close friends. One moment, she could be amiable with you, especially when she needed something, but the next moment, she would act as if you didn't even exist. It was apparent that Alexei exuded an attitude of superiority, as if she considered herself better than others. Some perceived her to look down on people. She seemed to believe that she held a higher status as a cheerleader, possibly because of her closer relationship with the cheer coaches compared to other girls. On January 27th, Alexei accompanied by her mother, Rosa Rodriguez, to the hospital, seeking relief from back pain. Sometime around 2 a.m., she informed the nurses of her need to use the restroom. Hospital surveillance cameras recorded her rushing down the hall, clutching her back in discomfort. Despite asserting that she was not pregnant and that she had regular periods and was not sexually active, a lab test later confirmed her pregnancy. Following this revelation, Alexei retreated to the hospital bathroom and adamantly refused to come out. After a 19-minute wait, nursing staff sought assistance from security to unlock the door and approach the situation. After locking herself in the bathroom, Alexei unexpectedly gave birth to a full-term baby boy, handling the umbilical cord in a manner that nurses described as resembling how an animal might handle it. She then wrapped the newborn in a plastic bag and disposed of him in the trash, displaying a disturbing calmness as she returned to her room. When questioned by a nurse in the hallway regarding the presence of blood in the room, Alexei attempted to deceive them, claiming it was just her period. However, once back in the treatment room, she was confronted by hospital staff. Both she and her mother denied any knowledge of the pregnancy and tearfully defended their ignorance. Her mother's first response to the situation was, "Lexi, I told you about this."
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I
was
just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scary. It was not right.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Staff members were shocked to find the bathroom covered in blood, initially fearing that Alexei might have harmed herself or faced serious pregnancy-related complications. They thoroughly checked the toilet, finding it empty, and then inspected the top of the trash can, finding nothing unusual at first. While Alexei was receiving medical attention at the hospital, a housekeeper entered the bathroom to clean up the blood on the floor. During the process, she noticed that the trash bag seemed unusually heavy. Curiosity led her to investigate further, and upon looking through the trash, she made a horrifying discovery: a baby tied in another bag at the bottom of the bin. The housekeeper immediately informed the nursing staff, who promptly opened the bag and found the newborn baby lifeless, cold, and blue, showing no signs of life. Tragically, a doctor later declared the time of death as 2:28 a.m. on January 27, 2023. Subsequently, on the same day, a local news station reported that the police were investigating the unattended death of a newborn child. In the wake of this news, rumors circulated at Artesia High School, with several individuals pointing fingers at Alexei, suspecting that the deceased newborn was her baby. A few weeks later, Alexei and her boyfriend Devin returned to school, and despite whispers about what had happened, nobody had concrete information. They acted as if nothing was amiss, choosing not to disclose the reason for their absence, and nobody dared to inquire. However, upon her return to school, Alexei never resumed cheering during games. Instead, she remained on the sidelines. The coaches explained that during her absence, they had learned new routines for an upcoming cheer competition, which she was not familiar with. Nevertheless, she managed to attend prom, seemingly unfazed by the rumors surrounding her and Devin, even as it coincided with the time her son would have turned 3 months old. In an English class, Alexei took a creative approach to cope with the rumors and speculations about her. She composed a poem titled People Talk, in which she addressed the spreading gossip and unfounded assumptions. A friend of Alexei expressed concern, believing that she displayed narcissistic tendencies and claiming that she named the baby boy, the one she is accused of killing, Alex Fierro. The friend insisted that Alexei should face serious consequences, urging that she must be held accountable for her actions, especially in the eyes of God, for what she did to her son. According to records, the police attempted to speak with Alexei on January 31st, which was 4 days after the baby's death, and again on April 26th, when they approached her after she left school. However, she declined to talk to them without her attorney present. During her initial interviews with the police, she maintained that the baby was already deceased when he unexpectedly fell out of her. Both her mother and her boyfriend asserted that they were unaware of her pregnancy, claiming no knowledge of the situation. Her boyfriend, Fierro, admitted that he fathered the child, but also refused to cooperate with the police. They reached out to him on February 9th and February 16th, but he made it clear that he did not wish to speak with them. As of now, he has not faced any charges in connection to the baby's death. On May 10th, Alexei was arrested following an autopsy report that revealed the baby boy had air in his lungs at the time of his death, strongly indicating he was alive and breathing upon birth. The autopsy, conducted by the Office of the Medical Investigator, found no defects or injuries consistent with a stillbirth. Consequently, she faced charges of first-degree murder, child abuse, and tampering with evidence. Hospital staff, including cleaners who discovered the lifeless infant in the trash can after she gave birth, provided harrowing and graphic accounts of their findings. One nursing assistant named only as Lori described how it appeared as though Alexei had ripped the umbilical cord like an animal.
I noticed that the umbilical cord looked like an animal had tore it apart. Have you ever eaten string cheese? Like, you know, when you twist it, that's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked. And I just remember it caught my eye and I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart. Because those things are hard to cut.
According to police records, Alexei's baby was subsequently cremated, and she now possesses the cremains. Following her arrest on May 10th, many of Alexei's friends last saw her on that day. After spending 5 days in prison, she was released on a $100,000 unsecured bond. However, certain conditions were imposed, including a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., abstaining from drugs, alcohol, and possession of firearms, and no contact with individuals defined as having a personal relationship. Artesia school officials allowed her to graduate from high school, but she was not permitted to participate in the graduation ceremony. One of her friends revealed that they were warned by a teacher not to discuss the situation, as it could result in suspension from school and disqualification from high school graduation ceremonies. It is intriguing to observe Alexei Trevizo's unwavering claim that she had no knowledge of her pregnancy. However, interviews with her friends and schoolmates paint a different picture. Rumors about her pregnancy began circulating around November of the previous year, approximately when she would have been about 7 months pregnant. Her 7 months pregnancy videos were also leaked online, proving that it would have been impossible for her not to know that she is pregnant. I mean, everyone else noticed. It will be quite interesting to hear from her parents, unless somehow she hid it well at home. According to one friend, when confronted about the pregnancy, Alexei adamantly denied it to anyone who inquired, even going as far as attributing her weight gain to taking birth control pills when a cheerleading coach questioned her about it. Despite the widespread rumors at school, Alexei never confirmed her pregnancy to her friends. Some of her friends shared that they refrained from asking her directly, as they didn't want to intrude on her personal life. They explained that it could be a sensitive topic, and asking someone about potential weight gain due to pregnancy is a delicate matter. However, upon reflecting on the past year, her friends noticed a shift in her clothing choices. Throughout the previous year, Alexei began wearing more baggy-type clothing, which was a departure from her previous style. Around mid-December, When her weight gain became more noticeable, Alexei spontaneously mentioned to her friends that she had realized she had gained weight and needed to embark on a diet to get back on track.
Alexei says she had no idea she was pregnant and went to the ER for back pain. But is that believable? Check out this video of Alexei performing on her high school cheerleading squad less than 3 weeks before she gave birth. Cops say that's a baby bump showing and she must have known she was pregnant. I spoke with her defense attorney, Gary Mitchell. In the video, she clearly has a baby bump. How can she say she didn't know she was pregnant?
That's what she thought. She thought she wasn't pregnant because she's still having her monthly cycle, and that's a big issue.
Gary, you don't think she looks pregnant in that video?
I don't make a judgment on that, and I can't make a judgment on that.
Tragically, her newborn baby succumbed to entrapment, a condition that occurs when an individual is confined within an airtight or relatively airtight container, like a tightly tied plastic bag. In such a situation, the oxygen inside the container gets depleted until there is insufficient oxygen to sustain life. This was ruled as the official cause of death. The case of Trevizo bears striking resemblances to another high-profile incident involving a mother and a newborn baby in New Mexico, Alexis Avila. In January 2022, 19-year-old Alexis Avila left her newborn baby in a dumpster in Hobbs, New Mexico. The cries of the infant were heard by Good Samaritans who promptly alerted the authorities, leading to the baby's rescue.
911, where is your emergency?
We just found the baby in the trash.
Is it breathing?
Yes, ma'am. He still got his umbilical cord. He's whimpering. He was not crying, actually.
The child, now named Saul, was fortunate to survive and was placed under the care of loving relatives. Alexis Avila claimed that she was unaware of her pregnancy until the day before she gave birth. However, a jury convicted her of attempting to commit first-degree murder and child abuse, and she was subsequently sentenced to 16 years in prison on May 1, 2023. This was just 9 days before Alexei's arrest. The undeniable similarities between these two cases raise questions about whether Mexico is facing a deeper issue than what has been observed in these specific incidents. These tragic events highlight the need for awareness, support, and intervention to prevent such occurrences and provide adequate care for vulnerable mothers and their infants. New Mexico faces one of the highest rates of child abuse and neglect in the nation. Shockingly, in 2019 alone, over 17,000 cases were reported to the state's child abuse hotline. These alarming statistics demand immediate action from our community to stand united against such heinous acts. Alexei Trevizo's upcoming court date is set for September 11, 2023. The trial will revolve around the central question of whether Alexei intended to kill the baby, cause the baby's death, or if the child was stillborn.
They gave her major medication. Some of that medication certainly dangerous to an unborn child or fetus, and that medication was started without finding out whether or not she was pregnant.
An online petition is gaining momentum, urging District Attorney Raul Torres to prosecute Alexei Trevizo to the fullest extent of the law. The petition also calls upon elected officials to prioritize funding for programs that support families and work to prevent child abuse. Advocates of this cause are using the hashtag #JusticeForBabyTrevizo to rally support and awareness. Do you believe that the upbringing of children influences the choices they make? Or do you think that regardless of a parent's attentiveness, children will ultimately make their own decisions, whether positive or negative? Please share your thoughts on this matter in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. As always, if you found this case intriguing, remember to subscribe to the channel. Stay safe out there.